All right, Coach, congratulations. What's your reaction?
I'm thrilled. This team's worked really hard, and we were all just waiting to hear our name get called out, and it happened. They made us sweat it out a little bit there.
To the last page.
I was getting a little nervous, but RPI of 22, we felt good about our chances, and it's well deserved, and the team deserved it.
What do you think of the matchup just upon initial glance?
Yeah, of course, I haven't done a scouting report on NC State yet, but initial thought is that we're traveling to a place that's very easy, so headed to Raleigh. Tim and I are very familiar with Raleigh, but we were in Chapel Hill earlier this year, so a quick direct flight, so I don't think travel will be too tough. And like I said, the players are familiar with the area, so I think travel should be easy. And then NC State, obviously they're a great team, but we're ready to play them.
Take me through the process as the selection show is unfolding. It's unique this year because they're seating 32 teams. So what's going through your mind as each bracket comes out?
I mean, my hope, to be honest, was that I thought we were going to get seeded. I think we were, deserved to be seeded, but it doesn't always go that way. And I'm just glad that we're in the tournament and we got an at-large bid. But so it's a little nerve-wracking when, places were getting taken. But like I said, we're happy, we're thrilled. We've got nothing to lose. That's our mentality. We've made it this far. We've done all the hard work, and now we're going to fly. You
said you thought you deserved to host. The resume was there, right?
I think our resume was there, and having an RPI 22 historically, that gets you a seed. So I was really hoping we can host. Love to play in front of our home fans, but it is what it is, and I'm just happy that we're in, and we're going to take any opponent that we get. Doesn't matter where we are in the country, we're going to get after it.
What does it mean to get back in the tournament? It's been since 2017, especially for the seniors like Caroline and Kristen and the rest of the senior group.
It was so important for us, like Tim and I and our coaching staff, to give the seniors an opportunity and have that feeling and that experience of having a real postseason and getting to the NCAA tournament. They've developed so well over the years, and they've stuck with us through the years, and they just deserve it so much. So we wanted nothing more than to have them have that experience and that opportunity. So we're just thrilled for this.
Days after a tough loss, what's those days been like with your team?
Coming off of first we're counting it as a tie because technically we tied. But a penalty kick, shootout loss, I mean, it can go either way. It's like tossing up. We feel like as a coaching staff and the team feels we prepared for penalty kicks, and, it didn't go our way. And it was still a tough feeling and a tough loss in penalty kick shootout because we were at home and we saw ourselves celebrating, and a championship on our home field. But I think that's part of the journey, and the team has dealt with it. We had a couple days off just to, mentally give ourselves a break, physically give ourselves a break, and we got back together on Sunday, had a great vibe on Sunday, and then training today, like I said, we were flying and everyone's just excited, and we're just going to go forward.
No one likes the taste of that, so that's motivating in of itself, isn't it, for your players?
Yeah, I mean, no one likes to lose the penalty kicks, and that's always hard to swallow, but like I said, we've got big goals, so you just have to pick yourself back up, roll your sleeves back up, and get focused, and now that we know who our opponent is, we can focus even more.
Give me this year for you. It's been unique. We've talked about it, how you've been involved with the U.S. national team. You helped them qualify for the World Cup and the Olympics. You're balancing that with coaching this team. Tim obviously has filled in. What does this mean for you when you look back on this? I know you're not thinking about that, but this is one you're going to be talking about for years to come, I would imagine.
This is, you said it, a very unique season for us, and especially for me and Tim, and me being away with the national team, like you mentioned. But the team is so resilient and they're so supportive, and we had experienced this situation in the spring. Obviously it wasn't our competitive season, but I left a lot in the spring to be with the national team, and we prepared for that for the fall last spring. And obviously the team is in great hands when I'm not there, and just proves it because Tim had a great record while I was gone. Part of me said maybe I shouldn't come back. But yeah, the team's so resilient and so supportive, and very trustworthy, and they're trusting of us. So it's just a great vibe and a great team, and I'm just really, I keep saying it, but I'm just so proud of the group.
This, though, is a team built that it could go on a run in this tournament.
Of course we can go on a run, and that's where their heads are at. Why not? And that's going to be our attitude. We got nothing to lose. It's still one game at a time. We did that all season long. We never got ahead of ourselves. In the conference championship, we were getting ahead of ourselves, and now we're in the NCAA tournament. It's just one game at a time. We just cross that team off of our list, check that box off, and So we just focus on NC State right now.
Bottom line, feels good.
Feels great, and like I said, proud of the team to be back into the tournament, and proud of the staff, everybody that has supported this team. So hopefully we'll keep this rolling.
All right, what are you feeling? Congratulations.
Honestly, that was the most stressful experience of my life, but so excited. Just like so proud of this team, just to see it, like all of our first time being in this situation. So truly just insane. So exciting.
Comes down to that final reveal, right?
Like what? Like why did they do that to us? Yes, that was insane. We all thought we were gonna be in the first bracket. That was what was projected, and then all that was wrong. So really kept us on our toes, but at least we're in, so we'll take it.
So take me through it. Like, you see the first bracket, Florida State, you're thinking, well, that might be it, then it doesn't. So just take me through what you're thinking, what's going through your mind.
Yeah, I mean, it was just kind of like, it was exciting because we all kind of had an idea of who we thought we were going to play, and then it's like, oh, like, that didn't happen, and so it definitely added a little bit of excitement, a little bit of tension. I don't think anyone expected us to wait until the last 4 teams, but I think it just kind of, honestly, I'm not, like living it was not my favorite moment, but I think it just adds fuel to the fire, like having us all have to sit there and like wait through that, not hosting, like it's just like adds everyone's excitement and energy level. So yeah, it was pretty stressful, I'll say it, but finally getting to hear our name and see it up there made it worth it. So yeah, it was a good time.
It's nice to have this moment a couple of days now removed from what was a difficult end to the regular season.
Totally, exactly. And just to close it out and after the Memphis game and stuff, like just knowing that our season wasn't over, like being able to show up at training the next day and just putting in all the work beforehand to be able to get to this point just made it all worth it. And so yeah, just to be able to like celebrate and keep moving and keep playing with each other, like we're all just happy to be together. And so yeah, we got to recover from the tournament, and now we just get to move forward and finally know who we're playing and gives us something to focus on. So it'll be good. It's just insane. Like for the past 5 years, we've been talking about this moment, and like it doesn't even. We were talking about it before the show. Like it doesn't even feel real yet. It just feels like we're like, oh, like of course, like this is what our next step would be. But I think just like hopefully in these next few days, you can kind of step back and just be like, look at what we've accomplished. And I mean, every year we've had this goal and talked about it, and just like the way that we've been able to like stay together through it all and play together for these 5 years, and then for this season to be like kind of where it all culminates is just a really cool experience. Get to be able to do it with them and just be able to live it. It's pretty amazing. So.
What is it about this team that could lead to a deep run in this NCAA tournament?
Yeah, I think like our depth is really huge. Like, I mean, for the past 3 games, like this has been the only time we've had a consistent starting lineup, and so I think just like the depth we have in this team, and then the buy-in from like literally everyone, like just like whoever's on the bench or on the field, or like even the ones who can't travel right now with the roster sizes, like everyone's so bought in their role, and I think like that, like we always talk about how the other team can have individuals, but like none of them will be greater than like us as a unit. And so I think just the buy-in from everyone, and just everyone's like fire to like really, and we have incredible leadership. Our team's really diverse, and like different roles we play on the field, and so I think we all just like kind of feed off each other in different ways, and so I think that all coming together could really push us forward.
You've been battle tested on the road, so I would imagine going to Raleigh. I mean, you've played in Chapel Hill, Baton Rouge. I mean, talk about being on the road, and it seems like y'all brings the best out of you.
Totally. I mean, as much as you'd want to host, like being on the road, it kind of narrows in your focus on just being like, we are here to play this game. Like we're not at home, we're not in our comfortable environment. So it's just like an extra level of focus and intentionality that you have to have. And so, yeah, and I think it's like meaningful that a lot of those away trips we left with ties. And so I think that's another thing, just being like, we're done coming home, telling people on the airplane that we tied. Like we're ready to go and win a game. So yeah, I think just being on the road, it's just adds to the fire.
So a little nerve-wrack there watching, but how good does this feel?
So good. I mean, like I could get emotional talking about it, but just like the fact that we have been talking about this for 5 years and have come so close for the past few years, so just being able to finally see our name up in that bracket, it's really amazing. It's really amazing to get the recognition. I give that award more to my defense than myself. I think like they have made my life a lot easier and have allowed me to play with freedom and joy, and like you've seen it in games, just like being able to like laugh with them on the field and like not take it too seriously, but we all have a level of commitment and buy-in where it's like we can just play our games and like we know that we have each other's back. And so I think they've done an incredible job to put me in this opportunity, and so they definitely deserve all the credit. But you know, even still, it's just an awesome accomplishment, especially when it comes behind Dara and stuff. So yeah, it's been really cool.
All right, you had to wait a while, but how good does this feel?
Oh my God, it feels so good. First time in the 5 years I've been here, seeing our name up there, it's amazing.
You obviously, Caroline, Daria, you've talked about this since you arrived here. Take me through that bracket. It was nerve-wracking. And all the years you talk about winning a conference championship, getting to the NCAA. Now you've done it.
I mean, it just means so much to get it done. Together, to get it done in our last year. I mean, talk about going out on top. I think, talk to any one of us, like we couldn't really ask for any more out of this season. So I'm really proud of everybody. I'm so happy we're doing it.
And it's the result of so much work, hour after hour of practice, training, and games. I mean, this is a reward now.
I mean, it really is, yeah. I mean, you don't see what goes in behind the scenes, like you say, practice. I mean, it's lifts, it's meetings, it's film, it's game review, it's everything. It's summer workouts and other teams, and just a lot over, like you said, 5 years, kind of building up to these moments. And they're sweet moments, it's all worth it.
What was different about this team than the previous teams?
I feel united. Unity's kind of been our word, and not that it ever wasn't in the last couple of years, but you can just kind of feel it. You feel that it's a little different. I think everybody's here playing for each other. Everybody's connected by that common goal of really, really wanting it, and I think it's showing through.
Not that you need extra motivation, but the way the regular season ends, that's got to give you a little more fire now.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, ending the regular season with a championship's awesome, and then just Memphis stripping it from you in the 7th round of PKs, I mean, it doesn't get more heartbreaking than that, so I think there's plenty of fuel under this fire going into the first round. And I've said that since I came back from that, it's really been, any game could be your last. I mean, at this point, it really is true, regardless of injury. But, it just makes you that much more grateful every time you step on the field. And, if I only get, 12, 13 games this season, I want to make them count. And so that's what you're going to see me do.
Why can this team now it's a new season, make a deep run in this tournament?
I mean, I think we've proved to ourselves through the season what we can do. We can challenge big opponents, take them down. We've had a lot of injuries, people in and out of the season. We've had to adapt and overcome. It has not been a season that was not riddled with adversity. So I think we've just built a lot of trust within each other and proven to ourselves that we are capable of this.
Speak to the success of the women's sports in UCF, because I know you're friends with McKenna and Amber. They've supported you. Softball players have supported you. So speak of all the success around you. It seems like you all feed off each other and support each other, and has really taken UCF sports, women's sports, to a different level.
Yeah, I mean it's really amazing. I mean, the culture and environment we have here at UCF. I'm so grateful for Amber and McKenna's support, the softball team, and it's amazing to watch them do great things too. It's cool to know that everybody has your back and that you have other people's. You'll see me at the volleyball games, the softball games. We're there for each other, and I think it just really empowers you so much more than feeling like it's not just the 31 of us when we say we're united. It's the whole school.
You had to wait a few moments, but how sweet is this?
I mean, it just felt so good. I like to say I knew we were going to be up there. It was just a matter of time. We earned it. We deserved it. And credit to us there. We're going to take that. But just watching that name appear, the school you play for and you represent, means so much.